meeting.
It's now January 12th, our first meeting of 2025.
It's January 11th.
1:02.
It's January 11th, by the way.
Oh, I thought it said the 12th. Maybe I'm on the wrong month then. Okay, January 11th, sorry. January 11th at 1:03, probably by now, 2025. And I would like to start off with a disclaimer. Well, actually, my name is Mary Karabinos. I'm your Vice President, and I'm presiding over the meeting this afternoon in lieu of Janae Miller's absence. And I'll get to that in a second. We have a disclaimer that this meeting is being recorded, and to please hold down all the foul language and other not so nice things about people. You can do that after the meeting. But right now, any opinions expressed during this meeting will not necessarily reflect the opinions of the National American Council of the Blind, the Ohio National Convention, Ohio Council of the Blind, and the American Council of the Blind Columbus Chapter. So with that disclaimer, I would like to have a roll call, please.
All right, I will go ahead and take care of that and add people as they still continue to arrive. If people could mute when they are not speaking, that'd be helpful. Alt-A on the PC, Command-Shift-A on the Mac, *6 on your landline Felietone, or the mute button in the bottom left-ish corner of the app on Zoom. So in no particular order, myself, Lee, Gail Baldwin, Mary Karabinos, Edward Snively, Larry and Nikki Hansen. I'll get to guests in a second. I'm skipping over one for a moment. Kathy Withman, Claire, let's see. Mike and Julie Russell are here. Monica Williard is here. Michelle Spillan is here. Mary Highland is here. Marilyn Pifo, sorry. Dustin Grandstaff. Denise Bauman. Catherine Bister. And then I believe, and I'll try and get these correct, for guests, one of them is Claire Saunders, and it's spelled just the way it's on the screen, or just the way it sounds, Claire, and then Saunders. And then Caleb, is that Caleb McKenzie? I'm guessing that might be who that is. It looks like they are on a computer.
That's Caleb McKenzie, and Sean, this is Catherine. I'm also here as a guest.
Oh, okay, as a guest. All right.
Thank you.
Caleb, if you could, I can never remember how to spell your last name. If you could unmute and let us know that so that our secretary has it, that'd be helpful.
The audio now unmuted.
Yep, audio now unmuted. That sounds. Oh, no, I don't know who that is. Okay. All right, why don't we, I don't know if we want to move on, and when Caleb gets his mic sorted, we can address that when we have a pause, if you want to do it that way, Mary, or what you'd like to do.
Sure, that's fine. But yeah, whatever works best for the Zoom thing. Okay. Yeah, speaking of Zoom, this meeting had to be on Zoom this month because of Janae's, well, not because of her absence, because of the inclement weather that we had last night and this morning. And also, I would like to welcome everybody here and the guests that are here also, give them a big shout out for being here, and maybe we'll have some new members. Then my next item is to have a moment of silence for Janae and Patrick Simmons, members of their family, as they grieve over the loss of their uncle, and that's why they're not here today. They're at a funeral. So for just a half a minute or so, I would like to show our support for them by just this moment of silence. Okay, thank you all so very much. Just to know, Janae, you're, and Patrick, you're in our thoughts. The next item of business is the meeting minutes from November 2024, as we had our Christmas party last month and there was no meeting. And so Ed, we were going to review the minutes. Ed sent them out, I believe, about 7-something last night. So hopefully people had a chance to look at them. Are there any corrections that need to be made?
One correction is it's pointed out by Sean. Rachel Fetsko last name is spelled Fetsko, and she is not a member.
Okay, give Ed a chance to make note of that, but okay. Anyone else? Okay, with that, we will, anyone would like to put out a motion to approve the minutes as corrected?
This is Sean, so moved.
All right, any second?
Lee Tucker, second.
Second.
Okay, Lee Tucker, second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? I don't hear any, so the motion has been carried to approve the minutes as corrected. Okay, I kind of like to pause here for a second with the elephant in the room. What about those Buckeyes? They really did a number last night, so I know everybody's on mute, but I'm so excited. Anyway, on to Notre Dame. The next item in our agenda would be the treasurer's report. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so Lee, we'd like to have a treasurer's report, please.
Yes, and so this is the financial report for the Columbus chapter on January 10th, 2025 for the period December 14th, 2024 to January 10th, 2025. Checking account ending balance $10,394.31, a decrease of $171.92. Deposits, a donation from Barbara Corner, $100. Memberships, the sum of memberships less amount paid to ACB Ohio is $25.19. And the only expense directly to the checking account this month is $16.11 paid to AT&T for the phone line. We have an outstanding receivables, and I'm going to change the financial report in the future so it says what they are. This is a PayPal membership that's basically 2 days late getting into the chapter, which is why it's a receivable. So that's for $19.11. Part of that is donation. And then we have an outstanding checks and fees out there of $89.10. One of which is a $30 check that also hasn't quite made it back into the bank. And the outstanding checks cashed this month were $280 in membership fees paid to ACB Ohio and $1 paid for Zelle. Charge card activity, we had a previous balance of $50, which was for a Sunshine card. If I recall correctly, that's for an Amazon card. And charges were for the Rusty Bucket, $1,696.82, which brings the cost of the Christmas dinner up to $2,696.82. And this week I spent charge $43.80 for stamps and $34.37 for envelopes because we needed more. And most of that will be left over for the next membership drive. No payments on the charge card. That will happen in about 5 days when that gets paid. People Helping People account ending balance $2,454.19, which is temporarily an increase of $38.71 because of a donation from Melody Holloway. Thank you. And we do have a payment that was made, and I will let that be handled by Denise as what it was, but the payment was $106.43. Savings account ending balance $500.53, a lordly increase of 6 cents.
Whew.
And the amendment I forgot to I had to make to the financial statement. I forgot to put in the $10,000 CD that we have, which matures in July of this year, which has unpaid interest of $61. Columbus Foundation, the estimated market value as of 1/10/25 is $94,492.07, which a loss since the beginning of the year of $2,327.75. Last year, total income deposited in the chapter checking account was $6,952.41, and that is our primary source of income for the Columbus chapter. Just a note about the engagement benefit last year. There is none, of course, right now because we just started a new year. But last year the payout was $1,190. And there are notes to this current financial statement. And that concludes the financial statement at the moment.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Lee about the statement? Any corrections you want to make if you think of any, or something you'd like to bring up with him? Is there any sign of movement there, Don?
No raised hands. Sorry.
Okay.
For a second,
Well,
I forgot what you were asking me. But no hands.
No, I thought. Okay, good. All right, so then let's make a motion to approve the financial report as reported from Lee Tucker.
I move the motion be accepted.
Okay, second it. Anybody want a second? I'll second the motion. Mary?
I don't think you can.
I can't? No, okay.
Nope, you're present.
I'll second.
And that is
Julie
Julie?
Russell.
okay, Julie. And okay, all in favor of the report, say aye.
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 Any nays? All right, the motion has been carried to approve the financial report as written.
All right. I'm
All
going
right.
to hop in for just a second.
Sure.
Mark Brodigam has come in, and then Caleb was kind enough to leave and come back with his name. So I will spell it Caleb, and then his last name is capital M, lowercase c, and then capital Kinsey. Since his name is new to our secretary, and so I wanted to just make sure those folks were accounted for.
Okay.
Am I allowed to get phone numbers for the list or no?
I can take care of that and send you the phone numbers.
That would help.
I will do that again because it changes every year, of course, because membership is different, blah, blah. So anyway.
Well, then I guess we change the list.
We do. We do that. We eventually get them out. Yes, we do. So
Okay. Okay, then. I kind of like to go out of order here because we were supposed to have a speaker after our meeting, but since Patrick Simmons is away at the funeral with Janae, then Lee has asked if he could speak about his role as treasurer. And I believe you're doing that after the meeting, Lee?
yes, I would like to bring that to the chapter membership's attention to English League. Yeah, let's cover that, after the meeting is over as a speaker, because I can talk. I don't want to bend your ear too long, but basically about all the jobs that have managed to find their home in the treasurer office. And I can cover a little bit about why that happened and mostly just categorize what the big jobs are. So if you want to hang out after the meeting is adjourned, you can hear all that. And thank you very much.
Yeah, that would be appreciated if everybody could just stay around for just a few minutes. Okay, then on to the committee report. We have the PHP report, and I believe that's Denise.
All right. I really don't have anything new to add. We did serve one person this past, between the time that we last met in November and January. And that completes the report.
All right, thank you. The next we have is the Sunshine Report. And I'm trying to Kathy Whitman?
I believe Mary Highland is also here.
Or Mary
so
Highland,
You guys
okay.
can decide which
Either way.
you'd like to do. I don't know how you want to decide that.
Audio now on.
Kathy? Are you there?
You must have to unmute, maybe. She was here.
Well, shall I go ahead?
Sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe Denise after that.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Mary and Denise were going to give the report.
All right.
As many of you know, Valerie, oh my gosh, Vicky Prayan was hospitalized for surgery, and I believe she's home, but I'm hoping that Denise is able to let us know if that did happen. Is Denise?
Are you waiting for a response from me now, Mary? I didn't know if you wanted to continue on or if you wanted me to respond right away.
Go ahead now.
Okay. Yeah, Vicky is home. She did come home this past Wednesday. She has the most amazing number of medical appointments facing her, over the next weeks. And if I'm remembering what she said correctly, I believe she had 2 MRIs and 2 CAT scans yesterday.
Oh my God.
She also had the remainder of the staples removed from her head. And she met with her radiologist for 2 hours to talk about plans for radiation. So she'll have about 3 weeks to kind of gain some momentum for all of that. And then she'll be receiving radiation over a 6-week period, 5 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes per treatment. So, yeah, I'm sure she would appreciate any way that you want to send care and affection and support, and however you feel moved. I think I know she seems she's tired, and who wouldn't be. So I try to space my calls out quite a bit. I didn't speak to her till last night, and I'm just sort of taking her lead. So as far as contact, but thank you.
So
Thank you,
her
Denise.
address maybe is on the list, the phone list, or how is that? I don't remember. That maybe cards can send cards.
Yeah, that's a nice idea for those who
Yeah.
feel moved to do that.
That'd be
And
awesome. Okay.
I did send a card, and Lee sent the gift card for Amazon, which is what she had preferred over Kroger. So we did do that. I sent a card on behalf of the Sunshine Committee and ACB, and the card is a print card, so I put Braille in it for
Oh,
her.
good.
And Gail informed me that Ann Gazelle has moved to North Carolina, her niece took care of the move. And I guess I should just say that Gail, is it all right if I just tell them to call you if they want more details about her?
Okay.
Because Gail has talked to the niece and knows the whole story.
Okay, Mary.
Yes, Gail.
Yeah. Anne went to memory care in North Carolina. She got down there this past Monday, and she will be getting a phone shortly. But she made the move pretty well. So when she gets a phone, I could share that number. You probably would like to hear from people.
Okay. You sound great, Gail.
Oh, no, I feel like crap.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Anything
thanks for
else?
being here, though.
Okay. And then also Gail told me that Deb Wood was hospitalized, but she is home now. So I'll be contacting her to find out if she wants the Kroger card or something else, because she is in assisted living. So she probably wouldn't be able to, but maybe she would. I don't know. I just can't make that assumption. So Kathy, that's all that I have.
I don't really have too much. I think there was something about Deb Wood and Barb
Corner.
Barbara Corner, yes, I did send her a gift card because she had been hospitalized.
And Deb
Yeah,
Wood was,
she's had, I believe it was gallbladder surgery, and after the surgery, the drainage wasn't draining like it was supposed to. So she had to have tubes put in, and they're hanging outside of her body. And I told her it may take 3 or 4 more surgeries to correct the problem, whatever it is. So keep her in your prayers and give her a call. She'd love to hear from people.
Yeah.
Okay. I just curious, do you send like get well cards with those gift cards at all?
I bought some thinking of you cards.
Yes.
And some get well cards.
Okay.
And I think I got a couple of sympathy cards as well.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Okay, so we'll finish with. Oh, go ahead.
We have someone else that is appearing as iPhone. If that person could unmute and let me know who they are, that would be helpful. Unmute is on the bottom left-ish corner of your screen, depending on whether Zoom decides to show it to you.
Sean, it might be me, Angie. I just joined about 5 minutes ago.
Yes, it probably is you.
Hi. Sorry,
Hi,
yes, that's
Hi, how you guys doing?
that
Very
is
lady.
Angela Brown.
Yeah.
If I can type. There. There we go.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to mute you back. Bye.
Huh.
Uh-oh.
All right, then. Are we ready to move on? We have, I guess, the Unity Committee, but Patrick was going to be our speaker about that, but since he's not here, and the what was the other thing?
Well, the Finance Committee.
Right, the Financial Committee, yes.
Yeah, to my mind, that's on. I will probably have a Finance Committee this month before the February chapter meeting. what that really means is discussing what
The budget.
options there may be, but what we do with our money depends what comes out of all the reorganization things we're going to do relative to the finance committee and bylaws and stuff like that. So it'll be a while before we get our act together on what we're going to do with what money we do have. Because the old model is how we used to do things. That's not how we're going to do things going forward. The chapter members are going to get to vote on everything and have control. And so the start, I can get started on how much money there really is to give out, but that would be all that finance committee is about. So in other words, wait till February, folks, and participate then, because the future of the chapter and future's in your hands.
Yes, and making up committees and getting people involved, really important, especially since I've been on the member of the board for ACB Ohio, and they do things so great. I mean, with the members, with the committees and things like that. So I'd love to see if we could model our chapter after that. But at any rate, so then let's see what is next. I think that should be it, right? I mean, are we all set to close out the meeting?
How about ACB Ohio?
Oh, I'm sorry. Duh, ACB Ohio. Please, let's have a report for ACB Ohio. Katie or Michelle?
I gotta get myself unmuted. I'm having technical difficulties.
You got it.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No. As you all know, it's membership season. So dues are due by February 15th. And you can, pay through your treasurer or go on to acbohio.org and sign up that way and pay. Or just if you don't want to fiddle around with the online form and stuff, just call the office and I will get you set up. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you renew by January 15th, then you'll be eligible for a free 2026 membership. What else we got going? Scholarship, it's scholarship time. The deadline for that is March 31st. So if you or anyone you know is interested in a scholarship, please spread the word. We have a Friends of Freshmen scholarship that is obviously for freshmen. We have the ACB Ohio scholarships, and we're going to give out multiple of those. We'll have to see how many applicants we get and how many, actually are, to see how many are going to be awarded. But there's those, and the scholarship program was updated, revised, new and improved. So not only are the scholarships for graduate and undergraduate programs, it's expanded to also cover trade schools, continuing ed, licensing or certification programs. So keep in mind that our scholarships now cover that kind of thing too. So if you're interested in any more info on the scholarships, call the office.
Lee, I accidentally muted you, and you need to unmute because the recording broke. I didn't mean to mute you. But you'll have to unmute yourself. I was trying to get someone else. There you go. Okay. Michelle, do you want to just real quick start over with the scholarship stuff? I think that will probably just review that.
Scholarship, the deadline is March 31st. We've got our Friends of Freshmen scholarship. We've got the ACB Ohio scholarships. not going to give out multiple of those, but we have to see what kind of applications we get, how many. But the big thing is we've changed some things and expanded the kind of programs that we're covering with the scholarship. So it's not just, undergraduate and graduate programs. It's also now covers like trade schools, continuing ed, licensing and certification programs. So keep that in mind. Again, deadline March 31st. We're going to have a coffee fundraiser that will be in March, and Caleb he's spearheading that, so he can speak on that. So keep your eyes open for info on the coffee fundraiser. Let's see. ACB Ohio is going to be part of what they're calling the ACB Interstate Auction. And that is going to be Saturday, March 29th in the evening. So it's Ohio and 8 other states participating in this auction fundraiser. And it's on ACB Media. So stay tuned for more details about the interstate auction. Leadership-wise, we've had some changes at ACB Ohio. We have a new president. Katie stepped aside, and our new president is Brant Adams. And Brant headed up the Mansfield chapter years ago. And we also have Dan Kelly and Mary Karabinos joined the board. Something that's cool that the Sports and Recreation Committee has been working on a project with this Hogback Ridge Park in Sunbury, and they're making, they call a braille trail, an accessible trail with ropes, braille signage, tactile maps, and we went there, I think it was in the summer, and a group kind of advised them on what to do to create this accessible trail. And we got an update from Casey, who works at the park, and she said the project's going very well. They've got a lot accomplished. They've got the ropes up and the braille signs, and they're building like an accessible restroom, like a real restroom, so you don't have to fiddle around with the porta-john. But so that is going to be ready and opening in the spring. So maybe we could get a group and go do the trail at Hogback Ridge.
Ooh, cool.
I just sent out the email that was produced back in August about that. I just re-forwarded that out to the group.
Cool.
Thank you.
I guess that's all I have, really.
Don't forget Voice Corps.
Oh, yep. We got our Voice Corps show the first Wednesday of every month at 11. And we also have our membership calls the second Thursday of the month at 7 on Zoom. And we send out a link a few days ahead of the membership call. And you can also join membership calls through the website. There's a link there, so you can just click it and join into the membership call Zoom.
Yeah, everybody's welcome, right? I mean,
all are welcome. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of the meetings are great. So
I'm
just so
gonna
you know.
I'm gonna talk with. I do have a little bit of a concern with that link being directly on the website. So I'm gonna actually maybe I'll bring that up with the tech committee, because I do worry that we may get some Zoom bombing if that link is publicly facing. So I'll talk with them about that. But
Zoom bombing, never heard of that.
Oh, during the pandemic, it was very big. People were going into AA meetings and causing all kinds of havoc.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it was huge
Uh-huh.
in the pandemic
Wow.
in the beginning. But so yeah, it's not nearly the plague that it once was. Michelle, I have a question because I was asked to potentially do an article for the newsletter. When is the next when
February
is the dead?
15th.
Okay.
Feb 15th for
Just
the newsletter, spring issue.
okay.
Great
I got a demo of maybe and actually I'll mention it in case somebody's already talked about it, then I won't write the article, but I got to partake in a demo of the Glide mobility device from Glidance that Julie very successfully put together. Thank you, Julie, for doing that. But Katie asked if I would be interested in writing an article about it, and I said, "Well, sure, but if somebody else already did, I don't, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. But if you want that, let me know."
Yes,
Okay,
would love
I'll
that.
work on that. I was going to do it for this one, and I forgot.
And back to the coffee idea, I guess they came up with that promotion and, fundraiser, and the proceeds seem to be going to the chapter. So I just thought
Right.
I'd point that out.
Is Caleb here? Caleb's here. He can.
Yeah,
Hey
Caleb
guys,
is
I
here.
actually am here. Would you guys like me to talk about that?
A little, yeah. Go
Sure,
ahead.
yeah.
I've got time.
So when I was on Sports and Rec last year, there's a coffee company out in quick little backstory. These guys are in the Pittsburgh area, and I've known them for many years, and they're like us, they're a nonprofit who work with people with disabilities. They only hire people with disabilities, and they produce gourmet coffee that's fair trade, that's a very, very high standard coffee. And they want to partner with each chapter individually. And if come March, and what I'm gonna do is with each of our chapters presidents and VPs. So Mary, I'll get with you, and Janae, is come up with a time in March. We're looking to do like a 3-week period for the fundraiser. And basically what it would be is anyone in the chapter who purchases coffee from these guys, the chapter will get a 20% of the proceed. And additionally too, and logistically we can work this out, but there's an additional 5% bonus if you guys wanted to have everything shipped to one contact. But they're being very generous and giving back. So anything that is, once the fundraiser does start, we just need to finalize a contract, but that will go directly for your guys' chapter. That'll go directly to you guys.
Okay, great. So you'll fill us in on how to order and things like that?
Yes, I'll do that. There is a newsletter where I did put in newsletter article in December, but that was very long and I like to write, so I can definitely disseminate in a more streamlined. I did talk to Janae last week at the board meeting, so yeah, we'll definitely get with you guys, and once it's live, I'll be publishing to the ACBO list as well. And
do they have things like hot chocolate and tea also?
So they
Just coffee.
Mainly do coffee. I think they have done some stuff. I know they were kind of looking around doing some stuff with hot chocolate. I know they have some seasonal things going on, but I don't think they do right now. It's your different roast types. So like light roast, medium, dark, depending on what people's flavors are. They have decafs and K-cups for those of us like me have a Keurig. So it's good. But yeah, we'll definitely reach out again. And
all right. Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, then. Are we ready to close out our meeting so then we can hear Lee talk about
the Russells have hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious to find out, is this a company that's done by blind people, the White Cane Coffee Company?
This actually is a different one. They're called a coffee that helps. They originally were started. The mentor who got my friends into it is through I think his company is Blind Bean Coffee. He's based, I think, in the Lancaster area in Pennsylvania, but he himself is totally blind, and he got my friends into it, and they've started selling last year.
Well, I think we should buy.
Sure. Okay, great. I do want to say the Unity report will be done next month. Patrick is all excited to share his ideas, so that'll be next month since he's at the funeral today. Okay, let's have a motion to...
Mary?
Just a moment.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, there is no old business as far as I know, but
old and new business. Here I go again. I'm missing things. I knew I was missing something.
Yeah.
No old business.
But
anybody have new business? Any ideas?
Just real quick, Caleb put coffeethathelps.org in the chat. So coffeethathelps.org, it looks like just the way that it sounds, or Catherine put that in actually.
Yeah, just the words coffeethathelps.org is the...
Okay.
Okay.
Russell's hands raised.
Again, I wanted, I know not very many people knew this guy, but I know Mary Lynn does. I don't know if anybody knows that John Giorgio passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Last week. Yeah, he passed away last week. We were there a couple hours before he passed.
Wow.
And I tried to, he was very, very restless. And then after we left, she said that the nurse came and gave him some kind of relaxant, and he went ahead and passed.
Oh.
No, I didn't know if anybody knew or what, but the funeral was held Thursday. He had a good turnout. He would have liked the funeral, I think, the way they did it.
Yeah, I don't know him, so.
Yeah, he was a vendor, and I remember working with him.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to keep him and his family in our thoughts.
May I?
Is there any way to send a card or anything? Send a sympathy card to their family, or, aside from, I guess, do you have that information, Julie, that people can get to you in an address or something?
Yeah, I can get it. It's in my DoorDash because I would send them food once in a while. So we can do that. Her name is Kathy, and she's been through a lot. So I don't have any sympathy cards, but he's NFB, and several of them were there at the funeral. So I don't know if they're doing anything, but we could send a little something from us. I think that would be great.
Well, wait a minute.
It'd be much appreciated.
Wait a minute. That's not under the Sunshine Committee guidelines.
Okay, well, we won't do it under the Sunshine. We'll just do it as...
what I'm trying to point out.
So, yeah, well, we won't do that. We'll just send him a little something for Kathy.
As individuals.
Is that what you're saying, Julie, is if individuals want to send their own?
Yes, and I have his address if you want it.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I was going to mention another person who died a few months ago. I don't know how many people knew her, but her name was Nolita Maldiz, and she was a type 1 diabetic, and that's how she lost her sight. And it was quite a long road for her. So in case anybody didn't know about that death and happened to know her, I just wanted people to hear. And I think it's clear, but about Caleb's information, I'm and sending out now that we have the website, I still am understanding that it's preferred that we order as a chapter so that it benefits the chapter, even if people decide they want to buy the coffee, that it's best if we order it as a group through the chapter rather than individually. But if I'm misunderstanding that, I'd happily be corrected.
So that will, if you guys want to decide to do that, then yes, it would be a bigger proceed to you guys. But if you guys wanted to, so their stipulation for that part would be if it's $100 worth of product that's ordered and there's one shipping contact, but yeah, that is either way, regardless of which way, they'll still be
The only problem I see with that would be is that if they want it shipped to one person, then somebody else in the chapter would then have to take care of getting it.
Yeah, and
the
that's
individual. Yeah, and we'd have to decide whether
take
we
it
would.
to a meeting, but that's the only other thing I could think of.
right, exactly.
But we have
So that's
people
what I was going to work with
But
you
we have
guys
people
on.
like Catherine in Worcester.
Oh, true.
Who
We've
would
got
be separate.
Yeah, we've got some people that are chapter members but are not always able to get to Columbus. So I'm thinking logistically it might be easier if people could order individually, but then but then somehow indicate
You
that
could do both.
Columbus chapter is where they want to go. I'm
There's
sorry, I interrupted
each
somebody.
chapter has a
Unique
dedicated link.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
So yeah, they set it up so each chapter will have a link and you guys can, so it'll be the website and what I'll do is and since you guys are here, your chapter, would it be easiest if I just let your guys' board know, like just kind of give out the nuts and bolts of everything, the link and everything to you guys, or what would help you guys? Because I'm in Cleveland's chapter and I've been kind of working to figure out how to best get everything out to everyone.
I'd send it out
Well, we
to
can
the Vice
announce it at the
President.
next meeting.
Hello.
Yeah, Lee, you're here. You're there. Sorry.
I'd send it out to the President Janae Miller and Mary Karabinos, the Vice President.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, that was my original plan, and we were still trying to figure out which days in March to do it. It is definitely going to be in March, and so we just have to get that last little detail out. But once we will definitely have that information in the next upcoming weeks.
And if it helps to clarify, this is Catherine. You can order in different ways. So an individual can order, it goes to their address, they pay whatever
Right.
shipping, and there's a 20% on the purchase, there's a 20% donation given to your chapter because the individual used your chapter link to order. Now, if you wanted to, everyone in the chapter or 10 people in the chapter wanted to get together and place an order and it all went to one address, as long as that order totaled $100 or more, there'd be a 25% return for that. And then it would go to one address and then that one person would distribute to everyone that ordered. So it isn't an either or, it's a
Yeah, you can do both.
more flexible plan.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're it. You have K-Cups, so I'll be there.
They definitely do.
Do we need to make some kind of vote, take some kind of vote to make, so that chapter is on board?
Well,
or do we just kind of?
Isn't that new business in February or March?
Yeah,
February, right. We could do that in February.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so any other new business we can think of?
Since we have time, we could have a member moment where.
Member moment, thank you. I'm sorry, I knew that was something else I needed.
Where people just bring forward concerns they have relative to the chapter and other issues. Patrick does a lot better at talking about it than I do, but we had a very long member moment session, if I recall, in November. And it was
Yes, we did.
helpful to us all.
Yep. Even something that you're happy with would be nice.
Well, I
Or
was
something you
happy
might be looking forward to.
Well, I was happy I saw so many people at the Christmas dinner. No,
Yes,
we'll
that
stay
really
Oh
there.
yeah, that
that
was
really
fun.
did go well. That was great. I see the Russell's hand is raised.
It's us again. We want to thank you, Mary. You did a great job.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yay!
Fantastic.
Yay, sorry.
Yay.
I missed some things, so thanks, Lee, for filling me in.
You
You
did
did
fantastic.
well.
You've done
You
fantastic.
did well today.
Thank you, Ed and Sean.
And it is
And
1:51,
thank you.
which
Yeah.
is
151.
yeah, I know. How do we get done this early, or more or less this early? So anyway,
All right, then let's have a motion to close the very first meeting of January 2025.
This is Sean, so moved.
Ed will
Anyone want to
second.
second? All right, Ed. Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any nays? Want to keep meeting? Okay. The meeting has been officially closed, and I think the recording can turn off. I think that's how we do it, but unless Lee wants to keep it on while he's talking about his duty.
actually, we'll just edit that out. But that's not.
We'll just keep
We just keep going because who knows? Something might actually come up that's important. Who knows? Anyway.
All right, Lee, you're on.
Okay. And this is entirely impromptu talking. A little bit. Okay. So my last year of doing this job is this year, 2025. And I actually mean it to be the last year. I will not be performing anything like the chapter functions in 2026 that I'm doing this year and have been doing for the last 5 years. A thumbnail history is that the treasurer's job, or what was just the treasurer's job, was performed by two people before me, Marty Honecker and Larry Honecker, and apparently they were so competent that virtually all the activities of the chapter, other than those roles performed by the other officers, came under their wings. That's a thumbnail history. Then when I took over in 2020, I just kept on doing what they did. And as a systems professional, of course, I had to make it more complicated and stuff like that because that's what systems professionals do. But it falls out into about 4 major categories to me. There's a little bit more than that, but hey, a treasurer's job is actually what it says. That's money. You get checks, you put them in the bank, and you have bills to pay, and you pay bills. Part of that is you have to produce a financial statement. That's the thumbnail minimum of what needs to be done. The other part of that is some officer has to be responsible for making sure the chapter stays legal with the IRS and the state of Ohio. And that can be the treasurer's job, or it can be the president or vice or secretary, or even the vice president. IRS, we file the form 990N, the short form at the moment. State of Ohio, there's 2 organizations to file with there. The Secretary of State is where you would file changes to the bylaws, and every 4 years you're supposed to tickle them and send them a little bit of money so that the organization still knows it's alive. Amusingly, there is one local organization which in fact has not filed for a while, so technically they're not alive, but they still function. What do I know? And then the Secretary of State actually gets the most attention from the treasurer at the moment because they actually want to know things about what kind of fundraising you're doing. But anyway, more detail than I mean to get into. So treasurer's job at the moment is basically two jobs. One is doing the finances, paying checks, paying bills rather, and receiving checks and depositing them. And the other part is maintaining the heartbeat of the organization with the IRS in the state of Ohio. The second job that I want to talk about is not really a treasurer's job. It's just something that went under Larry and Marty, and I have no idea how that happened. But they began doing the membership drive, and maybe because that they are receiving all the money for it. I don't know. The membership job occupies part of your life from August all the way through February 15th, which is when everything has to be turned into the state of Ohio and then beyond. Because if you've already heard today, I've had two people ask me, maybe three, because I had one do it online, about an up-to-date telephone number list. Or there's a telephone list, there's the email list, and there's a roster of members, and the data that the chapter collects is actually different than the data the state of Ohio collects. All of that kind of falls into the membership job. The tools you use for that are up to whoever decides to do it in the future. Larry and Marty used Word documents. I am the world's worst clerical person, so I decided to do something different. But you could use Word, you could use Excel, and nobody in their right mind would ever continue to do what I'm doing, which is using Access Database. But that's actually a pretty big piece. And I think that belongs in a committee that goes under the secretary, but that's just me talking. The third general topic I'd like to cover is, I call it Chapter Internet and Communications Services. But in English, what that really means is that we've got Zoom, we've got email accounts. In order to support all that, we have a contacts list. We used to not have it be that formalized, as I think probably previous people did this contacts list using like Outlook. I'm not really sure how it was done. And then when people distributed a list of what all the email addresses chapter members had, maybe they put together their own individual contacts list. At the moment, the tool being used for that is all in Google, over in Gmail and the allied products that Google has, using the Google Contacts, which keeps the 4 email lists that the chapter has. The members list is the main one, and then there's a board and a PHP list and a financial list. The tools used for that can be up to whoever does it in the future. Google is just one way to do it. Maybe we'll go back to just distributing a Word document that has email lists. I don't know. But it's a service that has proved important to us, I think, certainly during the pandemic, because we had to have a new way to communicate. So that's where Zoom came on board. And that's where when I just went with developing a contacts list over in Google. And the first try we did it, that didn't work out too well, but the members list has. But there are other ways to do it other than using a Google tool. And something that was done in the past, which currently is not being done, to give Katie Frederick credit, she had a call service that she was paying for on her own, where we received text messages or maybe it was email notification too. I don't recall.
I think it was just automated voice calls.
Okay, it was automated voice calls. Okay. And that was the chapter reminder of what meetings were coming up and so on. And while we're talking about that, the chapter has been paying $16.11 for a AT&T service, and that has not been maintained by anyone since, I think, midsummer 2023. And right now it still has the last message Denise Bauman left out there, I think, in August. So that would be a really great thing for the communication. I sort of see it in my mind as there being a communication committee that adopts all the lovely things that go into the chapter communication services, and a phone line or the call service like Katie Frederick put together. That's part of that deal. And then the last thing I want to talk about is I call it chapter identity and financial security. In English, what I mean by that is there are you're known to the IRS by your email address, for example. You are known by your EIN number, but then you log on to these websites by using an email address. Well, in the past, people were using their personal email addresses to do that, which works pretty good when you were a chapter treasurer for 10 years, like Larry and Marty were. But I thought, like, that's not, the optimal way to do this. So let's go with, say, a Gmail address for that. So there are three interconnected Gmail accounts that the chapter has. One is the main one, ACBO COLCHAP at gmail.com. And that's what the Huntington Bank knows about. Talking about financial security, that's the only email address that has access to the bank. The second one is ACBO COLCHAP.email at gmail.com. That's what our email lists are built on. And then there's a third one, which I'm not really sure is being used or not because I don't know the details. It's .social at gmail.com, and I don't know anything about the Facebook, and I don't know if it's built on that or not. So the reason that's kind of all glued together in my head is the finances and the Google accounts are all managed through a set of email addresses and currently managed through one web browser that I'm using. And I recommend that whoever takes over doing the functions, like dedicate a web browser to doing their functions on that, because at least it's separated from all the other jazz they might do on the internet. So 10,000 foot view, treasurer job, and maintaining existence with the IRS and state of Ohio, membership, chapter internet and communication services, and then maintaining identity through some kind of email account and maintaining financial security through a chapter email account. So that's the large scope of the jobs that are out there. You don't want one person doing all that. If that person gets run over by a bus tomorrow, the chapter's in trouble. But it's also way too big a job for a single person or for two people to do it. And I don't know how Larry and I put up with it for 10 years. I really don't. And they did fundraising. Now, when I took over this job, I swore I would never do fundraising, and I still will not. I'll stand by that pledge. So the coffee thing that's coming is not going to get managed by me. Somebody else is going to get to do that. It's just too much to put fundraising together with everything else that the treasurer does.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And, it's time for other people to get busy. Well, that sounds like I'm trying to put blame on other people. It's just a big job, and going forward, it would be the health of the chapter for many people to participate in it. And that's part of what Patrick Simmons wants to do with the Unity Committee, is to create bylaws which distribute the functions that the chapter has among the different officers, and then create the committees and get volunteers onto the committees who take over these different functions.
So Monica has a hand raised.
Yeah, and I will.
And then I have
desist at this moment. Yes.
I just wanted to say that I have a background, like a career background in managing email lists and doing fundraising. If you don't make me do any accounting, the treasury stuff, I would be willing to work with anyone else that's interested on doing the communication part and the fundraising part. I know how to do accounting. I made A's in high school, but I've had multiple strokes, and I don't want to volunteer to do anything with a lot of fine detail where a mistake could make a huge difference to somebody. But the communication part, if you could separate that out, I would be happy to participate.
You're Melody, right?
That's Monica.
Monica.
Yes, that's right.
One other thing I was thinking about, that the membership function, two other points that need to happen with that is there needs to be liaise with the state office with Michelle, because dues will come in that way, and she will need to be made aware of that, make the chapter aware of that, and also if members come through the treasurer, then the state office also needs to get money for that and know about that. So that's the other piece to that might be a little tricky.
Yeah, and that's probably why the membership ended up with the treasurer, because that made all that convenient. In the future, if it gets broken up, there's going to be a bunch of sending through the mail, probably checks or something back and forth. So, because otherwise it doesn't break up among several different people, which really what needs to happen in order for the, multiple people in the chapter get busy and get their hands onto things. So.
Yeah, I just know that that's one piece that when I was doing the job that Michelle now has, we were constantly, all right, Lee, we've got new people. We'll send you the information and we'll get you the checks as soon as we can. Had to get help with that, and also just because right now what happens sometimes is a member will come through either through the state, and like Lee doesn't always have that information as timely, or the secretary doesn't always have that information as timely as could be. And so that's part of where part of that function.
Yep.
Monica, I think I forgot to lower your hand unless you had something else. If you didn't, I will gently lower it for you.
No, I don't have anything else.
All right, let's gently do that. And then Mary's hand is raised.
I don't know, maybe you don't want too many hands in the cookie jar, but would that person doing membership have access to the checking account so they can make the deposits themselves?
That
once
no,
they
we
get
don't
checked.
want that.
Yeah, see, that's why I talk about a financial security. I believe that only
Right.
the treasurer and the president should have the password for getting to the Huntington bank account, because that's secure. Now, the reason I got the charge card for the chapter is so that people could use the charge card and say go out and get Kroger cards on their own. Sunshine Committee, hint, hint, hint. But maybe people aren't. And the other reason is that it's easier to reverse a charge card entry than it is on a debit card entry. Larry and Marty didn't bother with the debit card, and that would drive me crazy going to the bank and making out paper all the time. So we got debit cards. But going back to the main point is, like, only the president and treasurer, and my belief system says that those are only two people that should have access directly to the bank account.
And
that's what I wondered. Okay. Maybe just making deposits. I don't know how tricky that would be, but yeah, I just curious. Okay. You guys know better.
That was how it was on the state level, where the executive director, the president, and the treasurer were the only people that had access to the bank account. And since we don't have an executive director, that means that it would just be the president and treasurer that would have that direct access.
And history there is the state of Ohio actually did have money embezzled from them from one time.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, that did happen at one point.
Yes, the person who was assisting the then executive director was just, set up her little private company and sent money to themselves. And I remember receiving a call from the executive director at that point when they accidentally discovered that had happened. So that's why you want to have separation of
I don't want to be in the
you have to
account, but I
limit the
do
number of
need
people
to.
that can get into the checking account.
So if people are interested in taking on some of these new jobs, can they just call you or talk to you, and
Well,
you
there's a
guys can set up a meeting and discuss procedures and things like that?
there's the Unity Committee coming up, and
Okay.
the committees ought to be. I mean, I can see how multiple people can get together and say do membership, 1, 2, 3. I don't know how many, but it does. Multiple hands can make some jobs easier. There are other jobs that makes worse, but some jobs, like the Sunshine Committee, there's more than one person on that. So,
Well, like this, not to interrupt, the membership committee can also do things like get new members besides, taking in checks. Is that kind of like the responsibility of the membership committee?
Well, part of it can be out, Janae has the idea of going out to OSU and recruiting students who are there, and we've never had time for that. But with more than, just the president or treasurer involved, maybe there's time for that kind of thing. Hopefully there is.
Julie, did you have something you wanted to contribute? Because I don't know if you were talking to us, but I thought I heard something. Did you?
Oh, basically, the membership should not have any touch with the bank account. But if you guys want to send me $500, you can go to Huntington and drop it in there anytime, and I would appreciate that.
Well, and I think the other thing that needs to also tie in, and I think I don't know if I'm going to put words in your mouth, Julie, and if I do, let me know. But I also think part of what Julie has wanted to do is to or some people have wanted to do, is to help orient new members. And if there's kind of a welcoming committee, that would need to liaise with membership as well, in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's something that would need to be sorted out as well.
And Julie, I think it is as a care and feeding of people who come into the chapter brand new and walk into the door in the meeting hall, and somebody leaps upon them and greets them and pets them and makes them feel welcome, which is a job that you do so well. So I mean, so we love you for it, Julie.
Yeah, hand him a carnation or
candy.
A cookie.
Candy, cookie. $5 bill.
Can't afford that.
That's all right. While I'm here, also I have been bad and I have not sent it out, and I meant to say it earlier, but the app tech chat will be coming back next week. If I had remembered, I would have said it earlier, but I forgot.
Yeah, sorry. That was probably partly my fault.
No, not at all. I will send out a message to the list in a few minutes when we click off. And one of the things to think about, though, if there are some of y'all that come for that, I am considering. Originally I had planned it for our chapter, but I am considering and would like input on whether it would be whether people would be okay with opening it to the ACBO list at large, and so people of ACBO statewide could come to that event. So have a think about that. We'll talk about it next week, but I'm kind of about 80% sure that's what I'd like to do, but I also would like attendees to have input in that as well. So just something to think about.
Yeah, it depends on how many show up and if, everybody gets a chance to get help with their technology.
Yeah, and that's kind of, that's the balance I'm trying to make with that event too. So
Okay, anything else, Lee?
I sent out the four turgid documents that were the about the treasurer job and membership and stuff like that. Two of them were created in April, so they read quite a bit different than they do the ones that were in December. But I will send those out again for people to peruse. Uh, and that would be about it because I've done a summary sort of read on what.
well, and another area that would need to be looked into is getting things set up at the actual at the church and doing that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because that's something else that you put an extraordinary amount of effort into. I don't know if it would be.
Yeah, I had
If
hoped
I would.
to do that one with on-the-job training, but that has not worked out with the victim I had selected for that because somehow there's a dog in the way. I don't really understand, but yes. So that procedure is scary because I do it slightly different every
time.
But there's still the number of cables between all the objects doesn't change, and the number of objects really doesn't change. It's kind of the order that I mess with. It also depends whether Carol Riddle shows up. Oh well.
Yes.
Anyhow.
So.
But yes, there's that, and there's something else too. I don't really recall at the moment what it is. But anyway, I could write a procedure, but then I kind of wonder if we should continue doing exactly what we're doing because there's an option to always change it, So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably learn the sound port of it, but my thing is I'm not able to, move tables and stuff like that. I don't have the visual ability, layout in my head to do that. Angela has a couple of new people that if they were to become more interested, might be able to do that. They were able to help her move some things around in her apartment when she had more guests than usual and seemed happy to do that. And so I don't know if they would be willing to do similar. You remember David Ellen from the.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
He jumped right in and helped her move some furniture and things. And
I definitely would like to lasso him into the chapter. No doubt.
Yes, I think that the two. Yeah, I think the two of them both would be could be a benefit to us if we can find a way to get them interested. But yeah, I know that's something else that will need to be worked out. And I actually, in a way, I think that the setting up the equipment and stuff does kind of already dovetail into the Zoom that I already do. So that part I could probably figure out. But and I know it does take the right kind of person to do the techie bits, but the actual logistics of
the mixer is always the same. It always goes into the same ports, the cables do.
Yeah, so I could learn that.
Yeah, and the only thing that's really important there is there has to be a load on the mixer. Like there has to be something going out to a speaker and a microphone setup before it is plugged in to electrons. That is a step they tell me is essential because I have not tested that to find out if it isn't because I don't want to know.
Well, and it's interesting because I use a mixer for inputs, but I don't use any outputs on the back. So if that's what the Sweetwater people say, then I'm sure they're correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Cool.
all right, that's
I
all
went-
I had.
I wonder if
That's cool.
Irwin could help out with that. He seems to
Warren
know all
probably
that kind of.
could, but this is probably, I don't know, well, I'm going to speak out of turn here because I shouldn't really be speaking for Erwin. There are people who have done,
Right.
I mean, Larry and Marty Honecker, they've done their time. Erwin's done his time. He's been a
True.
power in he's done work for the chapter a long time. And Larry and Marty Honecker also, and well, Vicky Pran, who's currently in the sick bay. So
Yeah, we need to get
people
new
who are haven't or are ready and willing to go and haven't done so much, maybe that's their turn.
I just know that I'm in terms of, I am a bit limited in terms of the I can, and actually, well, the only problem is if I'm doing Zoom on the computer that's connected to the mixer, we don't have I would have to find a co-host in case something falls over. But like for me, those two things are kind of about the extent that I can do. I can't really be an officer or anything like that because I'm already Zoom is a big enough job.
Yeah.
And the sound equipment and stuff I can tack onto that, but that's kind of where my skill set is gonna limit it being able to do many things at one time. That's kind of where
that would be a great contribution to Sean. Anything you can put in, that would be fun.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
All right. Well, we'll figure that out.
There is an additional alternative. If we cannot find someone to physically set up tables within the chapter, we could hire a high school or university student for a small fee, maybe $20. I don't know what prices are like there in Columbus yet, but I mean that's what we've done with a couple of nonprofits here, and it works pretty well.
Well, we probably could get the church to do it too. And maybe for $10, the janitor guy would be willing to do it. I have not talked to the church because I didn't want to put extra burdens on them. And the church isn't 100% available either. But I mean, we've been fortunate on that recently. But that could be probably arranged through them, would be my guess. So that's something to do in the future. So.
Okay, Mary and Gail Baldwin have hands raised respectively.
Are you talking? Oh, Mary Lynn?
No, you.
No, you can lower my hand.
Oh, oops. Okay.
Sorry.
I've been forgetting to do that. Gail's hand is raised, and I don't remember it being previously raised, so I don't know if you have.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. The table and chairs. What configuration are they when you first go in? Do they need to be rearranged, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Right, because the table the speaker has and the one I put the equipment on are generally glued together with the comfortable chairs around them. And they're washed up toward the blackboard. And then the tables are either 4 to 5 tables to 6 tables are in the room in some configuration. So,
but it kind of depends on however it doesn't. It generally depend on like however the last group had it. They just
or whatever banquet there was in the church, because that's what one time I had to steal a table out of the kitchen to bring it up to 5. But anyway, the 5 tables probably too many actually. Okay. Let me enumerate the tables: the equipment table, the speaker table, and 4 tables for people to be sitting at when you come in, and the 5th one kind of capping that and that's the table that could be missing because sometimes people put themselves there and they can't hear anything after they do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but.
So yeah, we would need somebody who can kind of visualize
that. I have one more question. Did everybody get the email from Shelley Duffy? I don't know what her married name is. About the fundraiser for popcorn?
I did, yes.
I
Yeah,
think
I got it. No one
I
else
think
did?
I think
No, I
missed
did
that
too.
one.
Yep.
Okay, does anybody know anything about that?
No.
Okay.
Somehow I missed
A
that
new
one.
animal to me.
We
Yeah, there's I guess you go on this link and I guess you buy it directly. Yeah, maybe I should call her and kind of see what it's about.
Yeah, maybe she can talk at the next meeting or
I
something.
know one time there was an organization that wanted to use one of the popcorn places, and I tried to click their link, and I clicked it when we were told that it was time, and it said this seller has closed and is no longer offering. I'm like, well, what the heck happened? What happened?
Well,
So
yeah, I know Iowa does it. They do popcorn Iowa, but that's all I know.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this comes from, but apparently it's got chocolate and different flavors drizzled on it.
Now, who was it that sent it out?
Shelley Seats.
Yes.
Shelley.
Shelley, yeah.
Because I never heard. Is she a member?
yeah, she
Well,
is.
yes.
Is she still an active member?
Well, I don't know about active, but she is still a member. She paid her dues.
Okay, so she's still Columbus member then.
Oh, yep, she is doing that. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to send out the link for the coffee thathelps.org. I'm going to send that out to the chapter members. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You think?
Were you asking me?
Well,
Yeah, I would think
neither Caleb nor Catherine are here. They may not want that to go out yet until we actually have a link that people can donate to, but that's just a guess. I think.
All right, I'll hold
I think it might be more confusing if we give the website, but it's not set up for people to actually buy, and if it's not ready to go yet.
That's a good point, I think.
I think it might be helpful to leave that go until
get organized
the
first.
ball gets rolling, and then.
It's all right.
You want me? I'm sorry.
Does the popcorn funds go to the chapter?
Well, who
Or is
knows?
it just
All we have is an email, Mary. We don't know nothing about this.
Okay.
Okay. How about if I ask her to be a speaker next month or something?
Oh, yeah. Better talk to Janae.
Yeah, Janae. She's the organizer.
Have her talk with Janae, yeah.
Yes. Because we don't want to overstep her.
I know we some people looked into that for a fundraiser at the state level, and what I heard is it sounds great. You get, I think, 50% of the order, and the popcorn's good, but the bags are super small.
Yeah, that's right.
So
okay. That's what
Yeah,
it sounded like a great idea, but then the product was just so small for the price.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's no good.
But I don't know. I didn't try it personally, but I think Vicky got a bag of it to check it out, and was like, "Oh my God, this is it."
Has a huge bag of it for, I think, $9 something, and it's got chocolate and white chocolate drizzle on it. Oh, that's so good.
Somebody gave me for Christmas some it was caramel corn that had chocolate on it, and that was really good. I don't know where they got that. That was it was in like a plastic, almost like not a Tupperware, but like a container.
Oh, okay.
And that was good. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Angela was saying that there was another organization that she had gotten popcorn through a fundraiser and said the same thing. The bags were really small. So
Like I'm looking at their website and like the white cheddar, that sounds delicious. And then it's 3.1 ounce for
Oh
$12.
my.
For $12.
Oh,
crazy.
no.
Yeah.
I know
That's
Iowa is selling
expensive.
popcorn, and they had big bags. So they had
Yes,
different
I need
size
a big
bags.
bag.
A personal bag and a family size bag. That's from Iowa, the Iowa chapter.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're using a different company to do this.
Yeah, I can't remember what company. I should probably right here.
Yeah.
But
Meanwhile, I just look at the Coffee That Helps website, and they got lots of different coffees. I mean, and things that don't really count as coffee. What is that thing? It's a blueberry bliss, whatever that is. All right.
Blueberry what?
And then it's Costa Rican gold. You see, I wish I could, hint of chocolate. Ooh, there you go.
Ooh.
And then there's the Ethiopian gold, which, if I could actually handle caffeine, that would be what I would get. All right. Wow. Anyway.
Lots of choices.
I wish I had liked coffee because some of that sounds like it's probably good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Stuff from Sumatra was fabulous, I'll tell you that. But then volcano probably blew it up. But oh well.
Huh.
They have lots of those.
Well, I'm done.
Okay. Is everybody about tapped out, I think?
Yeah.
Yes, I move we adjourn the meeting, Gail Baldwin.
Oh, did we not do that? Okay.
We did that. No, we did
We
that.
did
She's just being silly.
Oh, we already did it? Well,
This is an unofficial.
Yeah.
This is added on to the meeting.
Julie has something.
This is unofficially speaking.
Yeah, Julie, you said you
okay.
had something.
Well, I move we close the unofficial.
I move to Lee Tucker shut up. Yeah. All right.
Julie, your hand is raised. If you have something before we go, I want to. Okay, you're still.
Yeah, I have a state. I was going to volunteer to do the tables before the meeting.
Cool.
This is Mike.
Nice.
Yay, Mike.
That would be great if you wouldn't mind. Mike, also, while you're here, we had talked a number of months ago about how to try and get the user hours on the weekends extended. Did we ever find out who we can approach at CODA to try and talk about that and actually get something to freaking happen?
Yeah, we did.
That'd be nice. No kidding.
We can't get the user hours extended because I even called Richmond, Virginia, and the company just doesn't go any longer.
What I was told when I left feedback was that we needed to try and talk with someone at the transit authority to get them to do it. And of course, then the question is, who in the heck does that person, who is that person? Can we get them to actually take us seriously?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. The company that does mainstream on demand does not have anybody available to do that on the weekends any past 7:30.
So even if we were able to get it extended, they don't have the capacity to do it.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then that's enough with that idea then, I guess.
We're looking at their competition to try to get it spread around the state, but I just haven't gotten there. They have a company that competes with them. I haven't found them yet. I know they're out there.
Ah, okay. All right. So it's not an issue. Because I thought it was just an issue of CODA not caring, but if user actually can't provide the service, then that's a moot point. Then I just didn't realize where
I have no idea why they don't go a couple of more hours when they go to 10 all the rest of the time. But they don't do it to anybody in the country. They don't do it to Richmond, Virginia. They won't do it for anybody.
Okay,
so Richmond's their home base.
Yeah, I would.
Well, don't they have to follow ADA regulations?
No,
not that that means anything.
No, they don't have
could
to.
Could some be an issue of security, perhaps?
Could be.
Yeah, it could be, and it could be just availability of staff, or it could be any number of.
different reasons, probably.
Okay. Well, at least we have more information than we did.
Well,
Thank you so much for that.
The thing is, though, they just raised the sales tax. Maybe they could incorporate,
that's going into head.
Well, that's
going into head honcho's pockets.
Oh, they better not. Huh.
Oh,
yeah, when we're paying for it, right?
It's supposed to be
bicycle
more
lanes.
service,
That's what we need. Yeah, bicycle.
More better service, sidewalks. All these
cars
things.
aren't on the road anyway.
Why is CODA in charge of putting in sidewalks?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably should have.
I thought that was the city.
That was my impression as well, but
yeah, that does.
Yeah.
Strange, but
well, we need to hold their feet to the fire. That's for sure, because now we're paying more money for stuff, and
you got that right.
Well, going back to the original point, we don't know what the contractual arrangement is between the service you serve and CODA. I mean, if what's been pointed out is the same in Richmond, Virginia, too, where the company is actually based. So there could be a limit in what the federal grants are like that's affecting
that's
what we don't know. So
lots of possibilities, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be for non-ADA rides.
But mainstream is different than mainstream on demand. We're the only city in Ohio that's got mainstream on demand. So that's an add-on.
Yeah.
We might be able to go after mainstream to get hours extended, with the new thing. But mainstream on demand does not exist after 7:30 on Saturday night.
Right.
In other words, they just don't. The company itself just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
As much as
I think
want it.
So I have a question then. So if I know if this is right, you can call user up until 7:30 to call for a ride after 7:30. So like if maybe it's 8:30, the last ride pickup. So is that correct?
My understanding is the last pickup is at 7:30 on the weekends. I haven't done it in a while, but they won't do it. The reason they don't do it afterwards is if something went wrong, there'd be nobody to call.
Well, I think
I ran into that problem one time. I was left hanging, and I couldn't have there was nobody I could contact. So
that's what I mean. That's why they stop at 7:30, to the best of my knowledge, unless something's changed.
Well, I'm going to call them and find out, just for and then maybe report about it next month.
Yeah. When Denise Bauman and I went down to the Short North stage to see the Voices, that wasn't Voices 8, anyhow, the Valley show. Anyway, we
Jersey Boy?
Yeah, we went down with UServe to go there, and we came back on Mainstream because that was the way she could organize it.
Right.
So you got to think ahead on these things.
Yeah, you
do. Right.
Just to do. Of course, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I mean
they're interchangeable.
Yeah. And by the way, if you do decide to go to the Short North to see a play or something, you got to call them, because otherwise they will not have an audio describer because they are brain dead.
Brain dead.
Yeah, and I would not.
Well, me and Mary Lynn wanted to go to that.
Yeah.
And they said on the phone message that there was nothing going on that night.
Yeah, because they were. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think the time got changed and they didn't know what they were doing. So when Denise and I showed up, it was only by the grace of God she got to hear something, because an audio describer from Accessible Arts actually was attending the show. And and I recognized the guy as a tall, handsome guy anyhow, and he hooked his iPhone up to Denise's iPhone, and so she got to hear a description that way. So it was just happened by a miracle.
Yeah.
So
what is that place called? Is that what we've been talking about at our meetings?
The Short North Stage.
Yeah, and
short
maybe we ought to rethink supporting them.
I would definitely do that.
Yeah, because we are supporting them.
That's a loosey-goosey way to run something.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You got that right.
So, anyway. Just
Yeah.
experience.
Well, we'll go. Who keeps bringing that up? Because I go to that person, and because they're the ones that are so excited about the audio.
Well, Mary Highland has brought it up.
Okay, so she probably has been in charge of that kind of. Yeah, we'll have to.
Well, she's a person that attends plays and stuff like that, so that was
Yeah, she goes there.
But she actually called and
they didn't
reported about it.
Let's say that their administration did not impress me because they lost the first check that I sent there.
That's right.
The second one was like, this is when I learned to do envelopes of my own. The second one they actually did manage to find. So possibly the first one was my fault, but it did take 2 tries to give them money. And then Patrick did point out that shouldn't they be getting money from CAPA? And they actually are under CAPA. So I'm not. Maybe
They should be getting money from them then.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done that, you know?
Yeah, maybe we're making a mistake then.
Yep. So anyway.
Well, but sometimes you learn
Yep,
these
you do.
things the hard way. And
Well, I don't think the phone number connected to anyone either. I think we called it. And
that's even worse.
Yeah, it wasn't good for our first experience. So.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And it was a good show, by the way. That was.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
Rats.
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 We weren't singing along because my voice isn't any good anymore. Because otherwise, I would have tried. Then somebody would have shot me. So anyway.
Well, mine's not either, but I still sing along.
Yeah, right.
Because
Cherry
baby,
Cherry.
Yeah. That's pretty good, actually. So, okay.
So the place that they found we're going to put on sounded really good. That's probably why everybody wanted to go.
Yeah, just give them a warning before you go. That's for sure.
If you can get a hold of them.
Yeah.
There's some way. I don't remember what it was because I don't remember what the number was. But there's more than.
Well, maybe go through CAPA then, and see. Try to get to them first. Their ticket office or something.
They use the CAPA ticket office now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's a change. I don't know, but that's what they're going through. So.
Yeah, because we wanted to go to it, but we were unable.
Okay.
So.
Well.
And it said on the phone message there were no events for Saturday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
that could have been just a communications problem of some kind.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the 2 p.m. show that's supposed to be audio described, and that show got moved. I know that happened.
Got moved to where?
7 p.m. Someday. I don't remember.
That's quite a shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, the artists have their problems with voices too, so I can understand.
Yeah, let's explain that one.
Well, whoever is doing the recording on the phone needs to keep it updated.
Sounds like our recording.
Yeah,
on
like
our
Columbus Chapter, you mean?
Yeah, we have a problem there.
I'm not going there because I've done that job, and it is a terrible job.
Yeah, AT&T gives you like 2.5 minutes, and you have to get it picture perfect. And if you don't,
Right, and then if you don't hit the button right at the end, it forgets
you lose it.
You just did. So I love it.
It's fun.
It is.
Yeah, I remember starting coming around, having to call that number to get information, and it was actually updated. So for the most part.
Because I used to, for a bit when I was secretary, I would put on the information line. We used to have a box that I think we've repurposed now, but it used to be a message.
It's still there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can use that because it got changed. Vicky still has it. Well, her voice is still on there, and it says it actually refers to the Columbus Chapter business, and then tells you to press 1, and then nothing happens, which is
Oh, okay.
But it used to be that
we need to update that. That's for
that
sure.
needs an update, right?
It used to be that I would go on there and put who had attended for the month, and getting that recorded and saved properly was more more of a pain than it needed to be. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Let's say AT&T system is a little arcane, touchtone,
Just a
and
bit.
blah blah.
I mean, it's good that we still have it and that they're still caring enough to do it. I mean, so we do have to, because so much phone technology is.
If we're gonna have it, we need to have it up. I mean, much more up to date. So
yeah, we got to find a strategy.
Otherwise, it shouldn't be there. So
yep, right.
If it's just going to mislead people, so
yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that we are beating a dead horse. So
We
I think
are.
it's probably time.
The horses are now out to pasture and
yeah.
Yeah, the cows have gone home.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll see.
I thought we were talking horses.
Horses, cows, pigs.
Cows, yeah. Well, they generally don't share.
Don't be by a pig by yourself because you could be eaten.
Yeah, no kidding.
So maybe some of you I might see some of you at the tech chat at 1 o'clock next week.
I hope so. Yes, I'm planning on
it. This coming Saturday, Sean?
That is correct.
Yeah.
And I will send out a message.
Did you get my message?
I didn't. Let me look because I haven't checked my folder.
No, I was calling to get some help with that stupid Amazon site. They have changed that so much. Even Lee had trouble with it.
So I don't recall getting a message from you. I don't know. Did you call me or?
Yeah.
I swear I do not remember getting a call from you.
Okay.
I don't know what.
No, I feel terrible.
I don't.
Well, anyways, that was what I was calling about.
Okay.
Now the tech meeting. Go ahead.
I have found it easier to change some of the options for your account and stuff in the Amazon app lately on your iPhone.
I do mine on the computer.
Okay.
I tried to use my phone and I'm just not that good.
Okay.
Whereas the computers, there's an accessible site, so they say. But anyway.
Yeah.
That hasn't been updated in
that's
a million
years. That looked like, that's terrible looking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not useful anymore.
Yeah, there's an accessible phone number to call, but they won't put in an order for you or whatever.
They will put.
Yeah, they will.
They will put things in your cart.
Yeah, they'll put it in your cart. They won't buy it for you.
But you still gotta buy it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
they'll
be
put it in your cart.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my understanding with that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've used them for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I couldn't find something.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll have to look into that then.
Yeah.
Saturday, there is a tiny bit of Windows news that I would like to share. So.
Okay.
Something to avoid anyway.
Yeah.
So.
I just have a real quick question. Your tech call is the meeting ID is the Ohio.
It's exactly
phone?
It's where
It's
we
ours.
are right now.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Right where we are right now. I decided to try and make everybody's lives as simple as I could. So I will put it in the same place.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Well, look forward to seeing some of you then, and we'll figure out what we're doing.
Okay, folks.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm going to terminate the meeting.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Hey, I already did that.
Thank Mary Karabinos.
Yes,
Thank
certainly, Mary. You did a fantastic
Thank you for your help too. I did miss a few things, which I'm disappointed in.
You did great. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Hey, when did we last finish the chapter meeting on 151? Come on.
That's a record. All righty.
All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. I'll check in later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Check in.
Take care. Happy Saturday.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
No problem.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you, Sean.